Oh, bless you.
That's
Thank you
enough.
very much. How are you today?
I'm great, thanks. Just
Is that your
in my
house or is that
studio.
your studio? I was going to say.
It's my studio. Yeah,
Lovely.
yeah.
So thank you so much for talking on
Thanks.
behalf of Wars Watcher. Apologies over the cancellation the other day. Just a horrible
Um,
work emergency that came through that I had to deal with. So, gotta love COVID, eh?
oh, no worries. I I get it. At these are everybody's trying to finish last end of the year things, and yeah. So where are you in London? Where
Um,
are you?
I'm in Bournemouth in the south of the UK.
Oh, I know Bournemouth. You have a wonderful orchestra there.
Oh,
Yeah,
oh wow, thank you. I'm sure.
lovely.
I'm sure the whole town of
Have
Bournemouth will be happy to hear
friends.
that. Oh, do you? Wow, it's a small world. No, most of the time when I interview
Yeah,
people,
you
they're
have
not.
very good orchestra.
Yeah, most of the time people aren't all that familiar with it.
Yeah, and I have a friend whose aunt lives there, so I'm aware of it. Yes, I mean I
Wow.
haven't been there, but I've been
I
to the
mean,
UK,
it
mostly
was
London. London.
it was voted the nicest place in the UK lately, so I'm not sure how true that is, but
That's cool. So did you study music or film? What is
I
your
so I do
passion?
I do interviews for Awards Watch, and basically the reason I'm doing this now is that I
Mhm.
do kind of interviews for films that are trying to get an awards campaign going. In terms of where my passions lie, I went to college and I got half a degree in media, but I ended up leaving because I just wasn't for me. So I've got half a degree, but I now work as a bartender.
That's cool. Hey, I've been a waitress before, and I'm not uh, too proud to admit it. You got to do what you got to do your passion. That's
Well,
important.
it depends because I do enjoy my work. I just do this on the side, but yeah, it's not for everybody, is it?
Mhm. Yeah,
Anyway,
but I do enjoy the UK, and thank you for talking to me. So I appreciate it. Did you see the
it's okay.
film?
I did. I've seen it twice now. I went and saw it earlier today in preparation because it's one of my days off,
Great,
and it is
great.
quite. I don't
What do
know.
you think?
Oh, to be fair, and I know it's easy to say this when I'm interviewing you, but honestly, I really liked Encanto. I thought it was fantastic.
Great, great.
How did
Thanks.
you?
There was a lot of work and love put into it.
Whenabouts did you first kind of get on board with Encanto?
About a year ago, in October, I was approached by Lin-Manuel Miranda to help him with the score and oh yeah, just Lin.
He approached you
So that
private.
was
Wow.
great.
No, I'm immensely
He
jealous.
well he the Disney approached me, the executives, and then you need to talk to Lynn. But apparently it was Lynn and one of the executives, Tom McDougal, who he was the senior vice president. Tom went and McDougal, and I worked with him on Coco. I wrote 5 of the 6 songs and produced most all of them, and did a lot of different things, additional music, and orchestrated half the score. So I had already worked closely with him for 3 years, so he knew of my work.
That's really cool. I didn't
So
know
I
that. I
guess it
was
was the
because I was doing some research into you, and
Mhm.
it seems like you maybe go a little bit under the radar. I had no idea you worked on six of no, what was it, five of the Coco songs?
A bit under the radar,
For
maybe.
for Disney, that's quite a lot of songs to be working on for one film.
Yeah, that was a fun one too.
Oh, I love Coco as well. I think that's probably amongst my favorites. So what attracted you personally to Encanto?
What? Could you say it again, please?
What attracted you personally to Encanto?
Oh, well, the story, having a female protagonist and a Latina as well, and the idea of having a family movie with a Latino dysfunctional. Every family's got their dysfunction, but it's fun. It's a fun one, and then working with Lynn. I mean, I loved his music. I had seen him live doing In the Heights, in LA before Hamilton, and then I saw Hamilton. I mean, who wouldn't want to work with him? And then also Byron and Jared, the directors, amazing. It was just a great team as well. So, you know, when you get to collaborate with people who are working at a really high level, it's really an amazing experience, because you're on a team and everybody's got the same goal. And I wanted to be part of it. And I love Latin music. And so the idea of bringing Colombian music into a score was a great, you know, feat, because it's Colombian music's amazing. And there's a lot of Colombian rhythms that I was able to use and instruments. So the whole thing was a big yes.
So, like you say, obviously you'd worked on Coco. Was it a big honor to then be the main composer on a Disney film?
Absolutely, yes. Any Disney animated film is always a very carefully curated, you know, film. And so for them to support me and also, you know, have the opportunity was great. And then, you know, we recorded for almost a month, having so many live musicians, orchestra, rhythms sections, soloists, choirs. I mean, that's such an amazing opportunity for a composer to have. It's almost like, you know, you writing plays and you know, you have your screen, your script, but then when it comes to life on screen, you know, with the musicians bringing humanity to it, that's such a great opportunity. And nowadays, so many scores, you don't have that opportunity. I mean, you know, I program and use synthesizers, and I enjoy that. It's a different kind of film, but this one was super exciting because there were so many live players.
So you mentioned that you started working on this about a year ago. So what was it like composing through pandemic times?
Definitely challenging, because first of all, you can't be in the same room with the filmmakers.
Oh
At the
no.
beginning, it was all just, you know, talking about it. And you know, you're looking at the artwork on a small screen, and you know, you try and get the scope of it, but when you see it on the big screen, and you know, and you're in the room together, then you get a better sense of, oh, how this is going to work on the huge picture, you know, on the big screen. And so also just the connection of being able to talk about things in the same room, and the workflow is different because everybody's on Zoom, and I was presenting ideas. I don't know what their headphones sound like. If you're in the same room, you're at least all hearing the same thing.
Yeah.
So that was tricky. And then also the animators were all animating from home. So they were having those challenges while we were, you know, moving forward on the music. And then during the COVID, during the sessions, we had a COVID officer, and she would be at every session. You could only have certain many people in the room. You couldn't record the strings with the wind, you know, so we had to do it in more sections, which took longer. So yeah, everything was more regulated. You know, I know that you know, you guys, everybody everywhere around the world has had challenges trying to get work done through COVID.
Oh yeah. So so was it kind of a case of you were kind of recording instruments individually, then having to compile them together in post production?
Yeah. So, well, what I do is I make up mock-ups on my computer with all the instruments, and show them, okay, this is what it's going to sound like. These are the ideas, the demos. And then, and they have to sound as good as possible so you can portray your ideas. But then I started recording soloists and, you know, the rhythm section. And then I play also percussion, you know, I play keys. And so they would get a sense of it, but then bit by bit, I would have, you know, okay, I'm going to have a rhythm section. I have 7 hand drummers, and we're all, you know, playing, and then that's one layer. And then the bass player, he's by himself. So normally we would just have the rhythm section all in one room. but we had to do it. And so there were a lot of what's called score editing, where someone takes all those sessions, kind of like a dialogue editor, and starts stacking them up and works so that the groove, works together as if they were in the same room. So that was definitely a COVID challenge.
So this is more a question for me because I'm fascinated by Lin-Manuel. I love the band, and if there was one person I could interview right now, it probably would be him. And I'm just curious, how did you kind of get to know each other, and how did you end up kind of personally working with each other?
Well, because of COVID, I wasn't able really to be in the same room with him. I think he's an amazing, storyteller, composer, songwriter, singer. So it was great for me. What we did was he would send his demos to me and also to Mike Elizondo, who is his producer for the songs, and they would do all the rhythm and the vocals, and then I would get them and add some orchestral elements to make them more cinematic. But it was really exciting because the songs were pretty much all done by the time I came on, and he was just refining them and changing lyrics here and there. I didn't actually meet him until the premiere because of COVID.
How long ago was
So,
the premiere?
lots of phone calls, lots of Zoom back and forth. The premiere was about a month ago. Yeah.
Wow. I mean, that must have been like, because you've obviously been through this emotional journey of making the film together, and because you both work so closely as composer and songwriter, it must have been quite sentimental to finally meet.
It was. We had a nice moment because I just appreciate him and his creativity so much, and the opportunity to work together. I was very grateful.
And in a way, it must have been better to meet him when you did, because he's having a Lin-Manuel Miranda boom at the moment with this and Tick Tick Boom and In the Heights. He's having one of the best years I think you'll ever have as an artist.
And Vivo as well.
And Vivo, how could I forget?
Yeah, he's had a great year. I don't know. I don't underestimate him. I think he might have another. I'm sure he'll have lots of.
I don't know.
Years,
I think he's got something under his sleeve.
Anyway, I'm sure he does. So.
So it seems like a bit of a stupid question to ask, but I assume that you both probably worked quite closely together as obviously songwriter and composer. You have to make sure that all the music that you both produce kind of works together.
Yes. Okay. So one of the things that one of my tasks was figuring out how to go from score into song. So that's a harmonic thing. And then also which instruments was he using? And then I, try and use some of those and do kind of an intro into the song and make it all work so it feels like seamless. So that's one of the things I did. So I would always, I have these sessions in a software program, and I would, import his song and the end. And so I'd have a piece of score, and then I'd have the song. So I know, oh, it's going in that key and that note and those instruments. So I can, make it so we don't want to feel a kind of anything jarring between the score and the songs. So that was a fun thing to do as well.
So do you have a different process to how you compose a score for animation as you do live action?
Well, you still write the same, I write themes and work on the characters, what ideas do they want to portray musically. It's still storytelling, but there is often more music in an animated feature because unless it's a musical, generally the score is maybe 70 minutes of music. But well, this one is not because it's a musical. But in a lot of action films, there's also songs, and then they don't require as much, score all the time. So, and also the other thing is that's different is action film, there's you have to work with all of the around the sound effects, and sometimes they don't require as much score as animated feature does.
Okay, well, I've got one final question for you, and it's kind of very light, kind of answer how you wish question. What was the best thing about working on Encanto?
Best thing about working on Encanto was the the opportunity to tell a story about a Latina who doesn't give up, and I related to that as a composer and a female. And then I'm going to add one thing: the team was fantastic. Just it was great to have such support from the executives, and then directors and Lin, and that is a great experience, and I won't forget it.
So I don't know if you've worked or working on any more projects, but as fingers crossed and touch wood, obviously we've got a new variant out, but as we've been able to ease restrictions, has composing kind of gone back to how it used to be before?
Yes and no. People are still wearing masks during sessions because they're union rules, and also there's more meetings going on. But now with the variant, I don't think we're going to relax. I think we're still just trying to make sure everybody's safe in the workplace.
So you've had an amazing journey as a composer, from working on songs from Coco to now being the official producer, not producer, official composer for one of the Disney animated films. I guess my final question would be this: what advice would you give to any aspiring music composer for motion pictures?
I would say work on writing every day, at least 5, 6 days a week, and develop your own body of work. Keep studying, and also learn, meet young filmmakers and offer to work on their films, short films. And if you can't find that, get, scenes, and then just score your own version of a picture that's already been out. And if possible, find a mentor to help you, guide you through the process. I think education, whether it's through a mentor, self-education, it's one of those careers or jobs that you're always learning. That's the best thing I think about music, is that no one will ever know everything about music. So it's always exciting, and challenge yourself and make sure that when you do get that opportunity, you've got something already there, something written, so that you can, you've been practicing. Because when somebody gives you a film and says, okay, right, you have to be ready. And if you've been practicing, then you'll have some of your own, structure and workflow that you figured out.
Okay, well, with that, Miss Franco, I thank you, Dip. Thank you so much for talking about on behalf of Awards Watch. It's been an absolute pleasure being able to talk to you.
And lovely to talk to you, Benji, and hope that one day I get to see Bournemouth.
Yes, and if you do, hopefully I'll see you around.
Okay, thanks, and have a great evening.
Thank you very much. Have a good morning. Bye
I
bye.
appreciate it. Okay, bye-bye.
Thank you.